Welcome to Module 2 of your workshop, AFNR meeting graduation requirements. Module 2 is all about the process. How, now that we know that we can, in Module 1, we can meet a graduation requirement within AFNR courses, like, well, then how do we do it is the next natural question. And that's what Module 2 is all about. So to accomplish the objectives or that kind of big idea for Module 2, we're going to focus on an activity that we like to call make a plan. Okay, so very simple steps. First, you're going to review Figure 1, which outlines a 4-step process to meeting graduation requirements with an AFNR course. And then in your small group, I want you to discuss barriers and resources that can be utilized at each one of the steps in the process. Then close out by choosing a specific AFNR course and graduation requirement that you're going to use in your mind to answer these 3 essential questions, which are listed here. These essential questions are going to be: who are the key individuals to include in planning an AFNR course to meet specific graduation requirements? What role will each one of those individuals play? Think school administrators, school board members, parents, students, fellow teachers, et cetera, et cetera. What resources, documents, texts, samples, et cetera, will be needed at each step? Where can you find those resources and who can assist you in finding them? And then the third and final question you need to consider is: what other courses in your AFNR program could be substituted for traditional graduation requirements? What is the value in using an AFNR for meeting a graduation requirement? And what are the potential downsides for meeting those requirements? So just trying to do a holistic conclusion there in that third essential question. Take some time as you approach those questions, have a specific course in mind. The process, as promised here in Figure 1, is very simple. 4 easy steps. Each step is described here in Figure 1. But I'll just go through them very briefly so that we have a common understanding. Step 1 is select the appropriate standards. So the Illinois Learning Standards in whatever given topic area or core subject area the graduation requirement is in are going to be the set of standards that you're going to want to use as you approach this process. So if you're attempting to substitute for a science course, Illinois State Standards for Science. If you're wanting to substitute for math, then you're going to want to look at the Illinois Math Standards, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And those we'll revisit in more specifically in Module 3. Step 2, once you know what standard set you want to use and you know the standards that are achieved in the particular course you're hoping to substitute, now we can do a side-by-side comparison, meaning that we're going to do somewhat audit that AFNR course against what the graduation requirement course is completing. And we're just going to make sure that when we do that side-by-side comparison, at least 50% of the standards from the original course have to be or will be met in that AFNR course substitute. We need this document. So if there's a way to even represent this on one document, as in here's the standard, it's met in the graduation requirement course and it's met in the AFNR course, and just making a list of those things, that would be awesome. Step 2, once complete, enables us to move on to Step 3, which is a school board presentation or approaching your school board. Now, I will say before you get this far, you definitely need to be talking to more people than just your school board. You need to talk to other teachers in your building. You certainly need to talk to your administrators, and then from there, move on to a school board presentation. If possible, I think students would be a great thing to bring into the fold here. If you have students who specifically want to take a particular AFNR course to fulfill a certain graduation requirement, they can help you with this presentation. But here's what this looks like. You need to present your proposed substitute to the local school board for approval. This approval has to be documented or recorded for the public record. So we want it to be somewhere in school board meeting minutes, on the school board website, et cetera, in the policy manual, wherever they need to represent it is fine. During this presentation, it's going to be helpful to have the course syllabi, prospective students of interest, as I said, and then that side-by-side standard alignment. That's going to be helpful in somewhat making your case, so to speak, or just validating to the school board that this is a suitable option if they would like to pursue it. It's also helpful to have sample labs or practicums to demonstrate the rigor of the AFNR course to make sure that that's comparable, and be sure to share the added benefits of AFNR courses that we all know and love, like FFA membership, SAE programs, scholarship opportunities, et cetera, et cetera. The fourth and final step is documented approval. We just got to make sure that those standard alignments in that comparison and the school board decision are maintained as public record for reference. A form must now be provided by the school district to parents in order for them to apply for their son, daughter, child to take that AFNR course as a substitute for the traditional course. So that's the process. 4 easy steps, lots of things to do within each step, but simple enough that I think anybody could follow it if they so choose. Hope that this can be helpful as you complete activity 2.1, make a plan. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next module.